Can you do this? As early as your 40s, you may lose muscle and strength. Protein supports muscle health. Ensure Max Protein has 30 grams of high-quality protein to feed your muscles up to 7 hours. So take the challenge. Ensure.
Good afternoon and welcome to the Midday News. I'm Malia Bryant. A special welcome to our viewers on TVJ International in the Cayman Islands and online at onespotmedia.com. Here's what we have in the bulletin.
Government says it's accelerating use of hurricane funds. Teen dies in Westmoreland crash. And later in sports, Cavalier and Portmore United advance into the Jamaica Premier League finals after semi-final round.
Thank you for joining us. Now the details. We begin this afternoon with a TVJ News follow-up. The government says it is accelerating the implementation phase of using funds donated in the aftermath of Hurricane Melissa to support the provision of houses to Jamaicans whose dwellings were destroyed by the weather system. This comes after the revelation by the Auditor General that less than 2% of the funds has been used. Since then, the parliamentary opposition has been pressuring the Holness administration to utilize the funds to assist hurricane victims still in need. But in a statement a short while ago, State Minister in the Office of the Prime Minister, Senator Abka Fitz-Henley, noted that the distribution of modular homes is a start. Grants will also be given for the purpose of constructing bases to accommodate the structures.
Jamaicans might recall that in December of last year, the Prime Minister had committed that the funds donated in the aftermath of Hurricane Melissa would be used to support the provision of houses to Jamaicans most badly affected. Of course, the process of identifying the ideal units, the procurement process, and the process of shipping the houses to Jamaica took some time, but the implementation phase is very much underway. The construction of bases has begun. It should be clear that our commitment made in the aftermath of Hurricane Melissa to use monies donated in a way that is most meaningful to Jamaicans is very much being fulfilled.
Meanwhile, it could take a while longer for persons in shelters in Montego Bay, St. James to transition to modular homes under the government's Roofs program. At the recent Municipal Corporation meeting, Chairman Richard Vernon provided an update on the reason for the delay.
You can apply to the St. James Municipal Corporation, to the CEO's office for a license to operate a pound. Of course, it is one that will be supported by the Pound Act and the Keeping of Animals Act. Those will ensure that there is a higher level of efficiency where the operation of pound is concerned.
He says failure to provide these documents will make it difficult for them to move forward. He says work will begin soon in case of persons who have completed phase 1 of the process.
Of the housing part of the economic growth and infrastructure development is not accepting a mere property tax receipt as proof of ownership for the property. Of course, these persons who are going to get the modular homes, they have to demonstrate some security of tenure. So the requirement is for them to present either a certificate of title, will or deed or gift of gift, letter of permission signed by a JP, lease agreement along with the permission letter from the landowner, executed agreement of sale, probates, statutory declarations, which should attest to the length of occupation from any two of the following persons: Member of Parliament, Justice of the Peace, Medical Doctor, Superintendent of Police, or Minister of Religion.
We must build back better. That call from Chairman of the Housing Agency of Jamaica, HAJ, Norman Brown, as he emphasized the need for more resilient and affordable housing solutions across Jamaica. With Jamaica facing more frequent extreme weather events, calls are growing to move away from outdated building designs and construction practices. Speaking at a Recover and Rebuild Expo in Montego Bay recently, Chairman of the Housing Agency of Jamaica, HAJ, Norman Brown, said the country can no longer afford to build using weak materials.
When the storm blew, a lot of people, hardware dealers, were clamoring for zinc and where they can get zinc and who want zinc. But what we have realized is that nobody is buying zinc. Everybody is now converting their homes to slab roofs, concrete roofs. Hence the demand for cement in the region is higher than I've ever seen it in all areas. And it tells me that people are looking at building back stronger and better. Because for those who have the mandate that we have gotten is quite clear. We have to build units that can withstand Category 5 hurricane. And we also have to build away from the shoreline.
Mr. Brown also highlighted the need to explore more affordable building methods as the cost of construction continues to rise. He said many Jamaicans, particularly low-income earners, still struggle to access home ownership.
Different stakeholders, both locally and overseas, to see if we can reach some kind of, equalization where our ambitions match their price point. Sometimes I look and I see where we get quotations to build a one-bedroom house, and the price is very painful. A one-bedroom starter home, you're getting quotes of $14–15 million. And that's a very challenging price point for folks. Ideally, we would love for any developer to come to us with a price point of, say, $8–9 million for a one-bedroom living and dining kitchen on a 3,000 square foot lot. Because when you give that to a person that works at Pier 1, within 5 years, that person will have a 3-bedroom house. Because all they want is to start, and then they will do the rest.
He also noted that reinforcing shorelines is just as important as constructing stronger, more resilient buildings.
And the UDC is indeed working on the project and the plans to reinforce the shoreline. It's a super expensive undertaking. And it will require billions of dollars just from down by One Man Beach up. It's going to take a lot of money, but it is essential if we are to protect and retain the land areas that we have, as well as to protect the buildings and the investments.
Can you do this? As early as your 40s, you may lose muscle and strength. Protein supports muscle health. Ensure Max Protein has 30 grams of high-quality protein to feed your muscles up to 7 hours. So take the challenge. Ensure.